Is that what you need to write down for the digestive?
For now, yeah. Then I'll have some enzymes and stuff to write down in a second, okay? So you have, why do we need a digestive system? We need the digestive system so we can break down food molecules, and then food goes to our stomach, of course, and then the stomach is surrounded by blood vessels. So what allows the food molecules to get into the blood? What process? High to low concentration. Diffusion, right. So diffusion of the molecules and a little bit of transport, other processes, are going to allow for the food molecules to get to our blood, and then they circulate it around our body, and then they deliver it to the cells for the mitochondria. Yes?
Could I please have Ashlyn Vandenberg for dismissal?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ashlyn, watch for this video later, okay? And then that's going to allow for the cells to use the food to make energy, that ATP energy. So, what kind of give me a type of food that's going to be able to give you direct glucose, like give your body directly glucose, doesn't have to break it down at all. Huh? What kind of sugar?
Complex.
Really simple sugars or really complex sugars?
Simple.
Probably simple, like candy, soda, maybe like glucose or fructose that you might find in apples or some sort of sweet fruit. What would give you really complex carbohydrates that you have to break down in little bitty pieces? Starches. Oh, red meat's going to be protein, okay? So starches like what? Potatoes? Corn. Bread, I heard. All those things are going to be huge carbohydrates, and those have to be broken down into little bitty pieces. What's going to break that starch and that big polysaccharide, Mary? What's going to break it down into little bitty pieces? What's going to be able to break down the carbohydrates into little bitty pieces? The digestive what? Anybody? Enzymes. Thank you. The enzymes are going to break that down, okay? So what's going to happen is you guys are going to chew it up first, and you got enzymes in your saliva. Mr. Williams, who teaches biotech, asked me one time where you could get amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down starches and carbohydrates. I was like, spit in a cup. That's all. You can spit in a cup and you can get amylase because your saliva has all kinds of enzymes in it. Versus like buying it from a biological supply company who wants to pay money when you can just get it out of your spit, right? Cheap. So your enzymes are going to start to break it down here. You're going to take it down to your stomach. Your stomach's got what in it that's going to help break down? Acid. Thank you. Stomach acid. It's going to help break stuff down. Your saliva has enzymes in it. And then you got some other things, your duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. That's part of your small intestine. You got your large intestine down here, your pancreas, your liver, gallbladder. All that's going to be secreting different chemicals to get all your food broken down into little bitty bits so your body can absorb it, okay? And that's just a simplistic version of that. I have to show you this animation because it's hilarious. So, here we go. I can click on it. All right, it's small. So there it is. Goes your stomach, down to your small intestine, large intestine. There you go. Gross. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, is that seriously not funny?
It's funny when
Okay, it's like 14-year-old boy funny. Let me just revel in this. Okay, so are you offended? I'm sorry. Okay, so these are the digestive enzymes I want you to be aware of. Okay, you can write down just these 3 examples in blue, and then tell me what they break down. Okay, amylase breaks down starches into sugars, or you can just say amylase breaks down starches. You should know what it breaks it down into, like if you know what a starch is itself. So starches are going to be, oh, this is a horrible shape. I'm trying to draw a shape here. What's the shape of a carbohydrate? What am I drawing? Hexagons, yeah, it's just a bunch of hexagons together. So if I drew 3 hexagons together in the amylase, how do I know that's an enzyme? ACE, right. This is going to break down, let's say it breaks down cellulose. How do I know cellulose is a sugar? Ose. Right, so you got these little key factors that tell you what these things are. I can give you dinosaurose or unicornose, and they're still what? Sugars. I can give you dinosaurase and unicornase, and it's still an enzyme. Okay, it's just the ending that tells you that. Okay, so it's going to break this down into individual sugars, and if you're a drawer like me, I like to try to draw a figure for each of these because it's pretty easy to remember that way. Yeah, it's got the O ending, it's a sugar, and if it's got the ACE ending, it's an enzyme. Okay, that's the trick to the trade. All right, now, What's going to break down fat? Fat is really, really large, and it's got it's that triglyceride. Triglyceride. Okay, it's huge. It's got tons and tons and tons of C's and H's on it. It's really hard to break down. So you have to actually break it down little by little. So like a big fat molecule into little bitty fat molecules. It's still fat though. And that's going to be broken down by bile. Who's ever heard of bile? All right, your gallbladder releases bile into your system, so it just starts to break down fats. Who's ever heard of people getting their gallbladder taken out? Gallbladder surgery. All right, it's because their gallbladder is not functioning well anymore, and it's not breaking down fat. So they have a really upset stomach most of the time. They have a really weird digestive system. It's not working out the way things are supposed to. I'm not going to get into gruesome details with that, but it's not working well, and it's causing some malfunctions in the digestive system. So they just take it out because it's causing problems. But that person has to change their diet, because if their gallbladder is removed, what can they not break down? Fat. So they cannot eat a ton of fatty foods, and then that fat is going to kind of stay in their stomach and weigh them down and make them feel really sick. So they have to change their diet if they get their gallbladder removed. Okay, so that's going to break it down. And then after the fat droplets are broken down, then there is an enzyme that can help break the fat droplets down even a little bit further, which are fatty acids. And what enzyme is that? Lipase. How do you know? Okay, so first of all, the ACE means what? ACE means enzyme, thank you. And then what does lip kind of refer to? Lipids, thank you. Okay, lipids, and that lipid is going to be your fat, right? And so that's going to be an enzyme that breaks down little fats. Does that make sense? Okay, now on that, I'm going to piggyback off that. Let's go ahead and think about this enzyme. So you know this is an enzyme because it's got the ACE, right? What does that kind of look like? Protein, right? So what is this enzyme going to be breaking down? Small proteins, right? So just breaking down proteins into amino acids, right? So pro right here means protein. All right, so pretty much we're talking about all these enzymes because, I mean, what do you eat every day? You eat carbs, lipids, and proteins every single day. So you have to have different enzymes that break down different types of food. Amylases break down starches. Bile breaks down fats, and lipids, lipases break down more fats. This HCl, don't worry about the HCl part here. Yes, stomach acid is going to help unfold the proteins so you can actually access them, but that's not the important part. What I want you to know is that proteins, just big, huge proteins, are going to be breaking down by proteases because it's a protein enzyme, and it's going to break it down to the final subunit called amino acids. Okay? So that's pretty easy because you know that proteins are made of amino acids. All right, that's pretty much the digestive system in a nutshell. I'm going to show you some pictures that I think are pretty cool though. So here's a fish's digestive system. Where does it start? The mouth. Where's it end? Anus. Okay, so we have a little bit of stuff going on here for its like kind of initial breakdown. The stomach is kind of a weird shape right here. It does have a couple of intestines kind of twirling around. It's just, and we have the liver. We have a pancreas someplace. No, we don't. Apparently not. Just the gallbladder's right there. It's a little green dot. So they have similar structures like we do, right? They do have a digestive system where they poop out. Oh, this is cool. I haven't shown you guys this. You guys know that fish can move up and down the water column? Like they can move up to the surface and then all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. They do that because they suck air in through their, through the dissolved oxygen in the water through their gills, and they can put a little bit of air in the swim bladder. And it's like a balloon inside of them. So if they want to float up, they put a lot of air in it, and they slowly float up like a balloon. And if they want to sink down to avoid predators, they just release little bubbles. It's like they're farting. They release little bubbles, and they sink because their balloon is deflating. It's kind of cool. It's called a swim bladder. Okay, here is a starfish's internal anatomy. Let me see, where is its digestive, okay, where does it start? Can you see its starting point for its digestive system?
Yeah, mouth.
Mouth, all right, that's where the mouth is, right in the middle. We talked last week about how it takes little bitty things and it brings the food down to its mouth. What were those called? Tube feet, right. So right here, you can see the little tiny protrusions off of the bottom of the starfish's appendages. Those are called tube feet, and they're just like little suction cups that bring the food down to its mouth. So when it gets to the mouth, it does have an esophagus, like we have an esophagus that can kind of start to digest, and there's not much else to it. These pyloric ducts and stuff, that helps it excrete. There's a little bit of, there it is, the pyloric stomach. It's got a little bit of a stomach here, and it's got an anus. That's about it. Everything has an anus.
Everything?
fun story. Every animal with a digestive system, like an external one. Okay, so here's the frog, and if we can get our study guides done by Friday, you guys can do your dissection. Some of us will, some of us might not. It's up to you. Your motivation helps me prepare this frog because it's a lot to prepare for you guys. But you guys will see the lungs, the liver, the small intestines, the large intestines, the spleen. If it's pregnant, you'll see the caviar babies. You'll see the brain. No. You'll see the heart. You can take the eyeball out. Like, you will dissect this thing beyond belief. All right, here is a planaria. This is a flatworm. It's like the ones that were doing the penis fencing. Remember that? Okay. So its initial mouth is right here, in the middle of its body, and that's called the pharynx. And so it's like your pharynx and esophagus. They line each other like two highways on your neck, and so that's where it's going to take in food. And then what else? Oh, that's its copulatory sac. You guys know what copulation is?
No.
It's animal sex. Okay, so that it can actually, that's its little sac that it can either be a female or male there. It doesn't have a anus in the front. It might be on the back side. It's not shown anyway here. But it does have a pharynx where it can take some food in. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that for a second. Oh no, I'll hold off on immune system. I'll hold it for tomorrow. Don't worry about that right now. Here's what I want to do. Let's do this for a couple minutes. You guys can work together on page 249. We'll check it, and if we have time, we'll start page 364. Please stay on task for this because it's not assigned enough for to take textbooks home, and you guys do not want to take. This has been recommended by the Body Council, so I have to do it. I actually have new choice. You know I don't use the textbooks that much. But page 249 is a review of biomolecules and cells. And I'll tell you which ones to omit, so I'm not going to make you guys do them all. I'm going to make you guys stop at, let's stop at 17. Let's not be constructors. So there's 17 multiple choices, okay? Work with the person next to you. Yes?
Do you want to do it?
You can do it anywhere. Yeah, this can be done on paper or in your book. And I've still not gone around to everybody for part 3 of the study guide. So just 1 through 17, multiple choice. Take about 17 minutes. I'm saying one question per minute.
So, just the 2 not the...
Yeah, don't do the other one right now. Let's go 17 minutes here and then we'll stop. Thank you for waiting. And I'll put some Christmas tunes on for you.